Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So, we have a very special project on the bench here. Um, this is, well, it's not a secret, but this is a secret mission, let's say, for my friend John. So my friend John Cohn asked me to fix this model for him probably 2 or 3 years ago. You know, no rush, fix it whenever. Well, I've always got something going on. And seems like I never had time, and it was on my shelf for a long time. He came over today and brought by some books he found in a thrift shop. And John's just a great guy. He's always doing super nice things for me, things that I won't go into here, but John has just always been a great friend. And so, anyways, I was like, he mentioned the Wildcat, asked if I had worked on it, and I hadn't, obviously. So while I was cleaning up today, I thought, you know what? Let me get this thing done. And John said, I just want it to be, you know, at the least a static model. Just have it fixed up and hang it up or something. And John loves to fly, and John loves Wildcats. And this is a pretty special model because this is a Jim Ryan Wildcat kit that was built by our mutual friend, our mutual late friend, John Morgan. So this is a really neat kit, and I'm not sure how John crashed it, how my friend John Cohn crashed it, but it was crashed. The nose was pretty beat up. You see, I've already started piecing it back together here. And cracked the fuselage, it cracked some of the stuff on the wing, so hit pretty good, and it broke the cowling up pretty good. So this is a neat kit. These kits were designed by Jim Ryan back in the 90s, actually, to be flown on brush motors with round cells. So these things were super lightweight, really simple, but scale in outline. And honestly, they have a foam core wing, nice thin wing, and almost a flat bottom. Actually, probably pretty close to a scale airfoil, honestly. Anyways, this got torque tube, ailerons, and John asked me to fix this forever ago, so I'm finally fixing it. You see here, I've got the structure underneath all put back together. I made a firewall, or a motor mount firewall for this motor. When I got it from him, I didn't have any motor that came with it or anything. I'm not sure what it had in it. Probably an old, well, it had a some sort of direct drive outrunner maybe, or like a mega motor or something like that. It was mounted to this, which was just behind there. So, and it had a printed radial on it, which was actually kind of a cool idea. So I think I'm going to use this. The model had some lead in the nose, which we don't need that. This outrunner is probably fairly heavy. I just weighed the whole thing with the 800 milliamp pack, and it was 14.5 ounces. So by the time I put a couple servos in it and a receiver and finish fixing it, it'll probably be 16 ounces, which is still pretty light. I think it's like a 30-inch wingspan. Anyways, I thought I would video all this, do like a little, I'm not going to do a series of videos. I'm just going to take video of everything, put it all together, and I'm going to make this flyable, even though John said he wanted it static only. So I'm going to make it flyable, and maybe even surprise him with a flight before I give it back to him. So this is a FMS prop that I rounded the tips on, and I had to repaint the tips a different color. These early Wildcats and all the early Navy birds had yellow, red, and green, or yellow, red, and blue. I think it's yellow, red, and blue striped tips. Actually really cool looking. The Vindicator has the same colors on it. But anyways, I got the structure kind of put back together, got all the cracks glued. So once I reskin the lower cowling and glass that, then I'll bodywork all this stuff. The hardest part's going to be trying to match the paint. I'm not really going to be able to match it that great. I'll do my best, but it is what it is. So I've already started to form some balsa here, so you can see the balsa wood wrapped around these tapes, these tape rolls. So you wet it with Windex, wrapping around it, or whatever you can find that's round, about the same radius, and then hold it in place while it dries. And you see it's pretty close to the same diameter. It'll be close enough. So all I got to do is skin this lower section, glass it, body work some spots, paint touch-ups. I got to figure out a pilot for it. I don't know what happened to the pilot. I don't think I ever had it. He gave me a little box full of parts, so I didn't see the pilot. Anyway, it's got a little canopy for it, which I might do like my Park Zone Wildcat here and cut it and open it up like that, which would be kind of cool because a Wildcat with an open cockpit, obviously. Anyways, John loves these pre-war paint schemes, so hoping to do this thing some justice and bring it back to life. And I know he really enjoyed this model, and it means a lot to him. So anyways, that's enough blabbing for me. Let me get back to work on this thing, and hopefully keep this video fairly short, but see what we can do. Anyways, tomorrow I'll get these skins on, and we'll finish up some glass and body work, and hopefully we'll be maybe even putting some paint on this tomorrow. We'll see. Alright guys, so we're starting to reskin here. So like I showed you guys last night, I pre-formed some balsa skins over a roll of tape. So I got my new little piece here. Got to glue on. Piece wasn't big enough to go all the way across, so I'm doing it in sections, which not a huge deal. But anyways, you can see my little motor mount firewall thing I added there last night. And yeah, first piece on, not too bad. Just needs to be trimmed up, sanded. Sweet. Alright, so I've done some Bondo work. It's lightweight Bondo, so it's not too heavy, and it's not that much on there really. So, but I got it all body work now, so now I just need to put some glass on it. I got this little spot on the wing patched up, the wingtip bondoed up, a couple other spots bondoed up. I got a glass, all that stuff. But with finishing resin and a little bit of heat gun action, I'd probably get some paint on this thing by the end of the day. So that'd be sweet. Get this thing pretty much done, but it looks good. Alright, so the fiberglass work is done. Just gotta sand it, put some Bondo glaze on it. One thing I decided to do was to add the carburetor scoop. So let's see if holder gets here. So I built it up with Bondo, shaped it out, and then used the Dremel with a small bit and carved out the actual duct. So that should look pretty cool. And speaking of motors, I went online, printed out a new radial, and this is a 1830, which is what the F4F used. The later F4F used the 1820, which actually that's what was in the FM2, and that's actually a pretty good bump in power. So anyways, I'll show you guys this in a second, but basically this little fake motor goes in here. But anyways, the motor that the F4F used, which is what this is, same motor that the Dauntless had, the DC-3, and a few other airplanes. So they all had that little scoop on top, and it looks pretty cool. So I thought I'd add that in there. Anyways, the motor can is gray, so that's like the that kind of takes the place of the gearbox on the radial engine. And what I'll do is I'll have this fake radial. Well, it'll be inside of here. It won't be flush with the face of the cowling because that's not how radial engines work. So this piece of wood that I used for this was actually the original motor mount, which was mounted about like this to the front, and the motor was mounted directly to that plate. So anyways, when it's all done, they'll have a pretty cool effect, having that little radial printout in there with the electric motor in the center as the crankcase gearbox. But anyways, it's come along pretty good. So a little bit of body work and I can start doing paint. Okay, so it's all ready for paint. So I'm going to start with the nose, paint that blue, and then I'll mask that and paint the silver. I'm going to do the whole body in silver again just because it would have been too hard to match what was there. So let's get this nose painted. All right, so I got the blue sprayed, and I got the bodywork on the wing all done. I actually touched up. I did a little Bondo and touch up on that spot right there. You can, looks better in person than it does on camera. But anyways, I decided that I'm just going to end up spraying all the yellow again, just because it's going to be too hard to match it, and it'll just look nicer if I respray. So I'm going to respray all the silver, and all the yellow, and I'll leave the blue or the green tail and the stripes alone. But yep. And actually, the way I do this paint is I take spray paint, spray it in a cap, pour it into my airbrush, and then spray it. You can put it on lighter that way. I just prefer, for something small like this, I just prefer to do it that way. So anywho, gotta get these stripes masked off, and then I can spray the silver. All right, so this is where we're at. Pretty much done for the night. I've already put about 8 hours on this thing today. It's taking longer than I thought, like it always does, but it's turning out really good. So check out the scoop and the motor, and I painted the prop up. I got all the silver done. It's not perfect by any means, but it looks pretty good. We are going to need to get some new markings for it. But yeah, thought I'd show you guys this sweet prop here. Come on. Love that colored prop arc. Pretty cool. Ooh, it's noisy in that balsa airframe. Pretty cool. Anyways, that's where we're at for now. Got to paint the yellow, finish the cockpit, decals, servos, and it's ready. So, almost there. Okay, so I got all the paint done on the wing. Repainted the whole upper surface and the lower. I have put on some decals, so I didn't have the right ones. So what I did here was I found some other decals that I had. I got a whole bag of old decals, and I was able to find some stars and bars and trim them down to just the circles. So they are missing the red dot, so I have cut some out of red vinyl. I'm just waiting for the decals to dry before I stick those on. This one's a little light on the blue. I might try and touch that up with some paint just so it matches these other ones, but I don't have any of the numbers for the fuselage, but I might paint those on. We'll see. But anyways, yeah, I just painted the black walk strips on, so the paintwork is pretty much done, minus some weathering. So anyways, it's Saturday, so hopefully tomorrow we can take this thing out and put a flight on it really quick, and yeah, she'll be ready for John to pick up. Okay, so I got the servos in. We got pretty much everything done. I just need to put a receiver in it, set it up. Like you can see here, I did a little bit of airbrushing to kind of liven it up a little bit. Turned out pretty sweet for a little small guy. I also cut out some vinyl tires, so those kind of look cool on there. You can see I airbrushed around them to kind of give them some depth. Got some exhaust, painted the flaps onto it. So anyways, let's put a receiver in this thing and call it good. All right, guys, so we are all finished up. Ran into a bunch of snags in the process of finalizing the setup, but I put a AS3X receiver in it that I had from an ARF. Everything's all set up and going. And see if I can show you guys the prop arc, which is pretty cool. It's got that colored prop arc, which is pretty sweet. So you gotta do a little weathering. I painted in the flaps and some exhaust stains. That prop looks cool. There's the pilot. Painted the pilot up. The cockpit. Added a headrest. Yeah. Turned out pretty sweet. I think John's gonna like it. I ended up putting a 1/2 ounce of lead in the nose, and it comes to 18 ounces with a 3S 800 milliamp pack. So anyways, it is ready to fly. So, wish us luck.
All right, so I got off my butt and I fixed your Wildcat,
Okay.
and it's pretty sweet. Because you're always taking care of me and doing nice stuff. So
All right.
I kind of went the extra mile on it.
Uh-oh.
Turned out really good.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. Wow.
You got some fake tires on there now.
Wow. This is insane.
Scale prop.
This is insane. This is right here. Jim Ryan Wildcat. Jim Ryan.
So
And
check out the scoop. I actually
wow.
made that out of Bondo, and then I carved it out with a Dremel.
I can't believe this thing. Wow.
And then the whole bottom's been redone. It's all resheeted and everything.
Yeah.
This whole section right here.
Yeah.
The rest of it was just kind of fixed.
Yeah.
But I actually resprayed all the silver for the most part, and all the yellow on top.
Fresh paint.
Yeah. I left the green alone, although I did some airbrushing on it.
I see that.
And the stripes are still the original stripes.
Oh my God.
I didn't have a Pilot. I don't know if I got it from you and then lost it, but I found one that was close-ish.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God.
we did the cockpit. These are all new decals and stuff.
Oh my God.
And then this is painted on. This stripe's painted on now. Before I think it was like a
Yeah,
sticker
it was
or
all
something.
decal. Oh my
So,
gosh.
Did a little prop for you.
Yeah.
I got
Oh,
servos
man.
in it. It's got a receiver. I got a radio bound up to it, so we can fly it if you want to fly it today. But
We have grass. Why not?
I have it set up on his radio.
That's
so.
fine. Well,
Yeah, so I did like some airbrushing with like a fake rudder, you know.
yeah, I see that.
So it turned out pretty sweet.
Wow, it is much better than it was. Yeah. So wow.
And I got
Oh
a
my
little
God.
little side thrust, a little down thrust in the motor. So
Oh, I see that.
yeah.
Yeah, because what happened is it was very old,
Yeah.
and it got it from John Morgan,
Yeah.
and unsure whether he built it or a friend of his built it for him, or I'm unsure of the background, and now with John's passing, we'll never know. But it was very old, and I was doing a loop, and the Velcro gave loose, and the battery shifted, and it was like, well, it's wallowing, and it had a hard landing. It didn't crash, but it had a hard landing.
So I saw the video last night of the first. I don't know if it was the first time you took it out.
Yeah, it was the first time. That was.
But the motor ripped off of it. Or
It
something.
did.
Yeah.
It did. So it did. So not only, by the way, the very first flight, not only does this thing haul bananas for what it is, it really moved out. But the very first flight, yeah, the motor ripped out because it was so old.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So this motor should be okay. This is actually an old Phase 3 P38 motor.
Okay.
And this is an FMS prop. I have a bunch of these, so if it breaks.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it breaks, I can make you another one, and we can use this one for static or
So you,
whatever.
you cut it down, did you?
No, that's how it comes. But I pay
Oh.
the tips and pay the setup
Okay.
and all that stuff.
Wow.
But,
Beautiful.
It seems like it's got decent power. Like I don't think it'll be super fast, but it should fly nice.
It doesn't need to be fast because frankly, when I made it back in 10 years ago, or whenever the heck it was, it seemed like it was just way too fast in
Yeah.
a way. It wasn't like it was
It had
uncontrollable,
a
but
huge prop on it too.
oh, it did, it
Yeah.
did, and it really moved out. But then again, you look at the Jim Ryans, and it's just
super clean.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it turns the Wildcat into a Bearcat. The thing just moves. It really does.
So I have it set up for 803 cell, but you could probably run like a 1000.
I actually have 1000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's got an AS3X receiver in it, like I have an ARF of some sort. So,
Oh my
but I
gosh.
have it all set up, so it should be good to go.
Okay.
But yeah, so there you go. I finally fixed that for all these years.
Yay!
I was trying to think of how long I've had it. I think I've had it for probably three or 4 years anyway.
It's been a hot minute, but
Yeah.
but who cares? Who cares?
It took a lot
I
longer.
knew where it was, so who cares?
Yeah.
You know?
It took way longer than I thought to fix it, though. It was like
Did it?
I probably put about 30 hours into it trying to fix it. Yeah.
Well, I could tell by looking at it that
It
there's
turned out
a
really
lot
good
of
though,
work.
because
Yeah.
like there was a lot of little stuff, like the wingtip was messed up.
Yeah.
This was dented right here,
Yep.
and like the fuselage was cracked in a bunch of spots and stuff.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
last night I was like, wow, the stab's kind of loose, so I put some glue on the stab.
Oh wow.
So it's
okay.
it's all good now, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god.
And I put some little sandpaper
I see that.
tips
You
to help throw it. And these are
Brother.
all painted.
yeah,
in.
yeah, the flaps.
Yeah, turned out pretty sweet. And then
Yeah.
while I was masking off the flaps to paint them, the masking tape stuck to the star and bar.
Oh,
to
no.
The star, and it pulled the section up, so I had to go like find another one and like
Yeah.
try and.
Oh no.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
This is the original silver down here. I didn't touch that.
Okay.
And then the green's original in the back.
Yeah.
So I tried to leave as much as I could, but it was
Right.
like.
Because this is a Morgan.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's a Morgan.
But really, I couldn't blend it without it looking funny, you know. And
I'm just glad that the canopy survived. Of course, it's on the top, so nothing would really happen to that.
Yeah, it's a little cloudy, like it's got
Yeah.
overspray on it or something.
Nah. Yeah.
But I try to leave as original as I could. Like I said, that's why I left the stripes and
Yeah.
as much as I could. So, anyways, there you go.
No, thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
This is
Yep,
all
Jim
good.
Ryan Wildcat. Yep, John Morgan. Again, who knows where he got it from? But this is the RC Brotherhood right here. You're looking at it. This is the RC Brotherhood. Thanks. Thank you. Love it.
This flight. All right, ready?
I did put a lot of work into it. Ready?
Yep.
Oop, sorry. There you go. There you go.
I'll turn that right down.
Think it's CG?
Yeah. Certainly part of it. Still got some left yaw to it.
I mean, you're only a little bit above half throttle. Things doing all right.
Yeah, I got some nose weight we can throw in there
Pretty
too.
fast too, though. Look at that.
There's full power.
Okay, that's good. Not bad. Man, you see that vertical?
That's about all you really need for a Wildcat.
Yeah.
This thing's like turning.
That's all it needs. That's perfect, actually.
It needs about another half ounce of nose weight. I put a half ounce in it.
Okay.
I think it. Well, it just needs a bigger battery.
Yeah.
But
Well, you got an 800 in it now.
yeah. Okay. What we can do is we can
13, that'd probably be just about right.
we can tape some weight to my other 800 before we fly it
Oh, yeah.
and simulate a bigger battery.
Yep.
It's all the way forward though. Yeah, that was sketchy.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw you put it all the way. God, she looks so good.
Yeah, we're way back in the power.
You are, actually. You're about half throttle, if that.
Oh, I love those yellow wings. Look so
Oh,
so
look at
cool.
God, what a beauty.
Now that it's trimmed out, it's not too, but it's definitely tail heavy. It doesn't take hardly any elevator to get it to do anything. I was hoping that those marks were conservative,
Yeah.
and they're not.
They're not, yeah.
Those marks are right on, probably, because
Yeah.
it was just a hair behind them, and I'm like, it should be okay,
Yeah.
but it's not okay.
It's all right.
All right, well,
I figured, I mean, I've flown enough Wildcats right now, they like to be right on the thick. So I don't know.
those yellow wings and
I know.
that
God,
blue
it's
that blue
beautiful.
sky. Oh, it's a nice size loop, honestly.
Look at that.
Let's try to roll. Whoa.
Can you?
Yeah, it rolls
Oh
a little.
my God.
It rolls a little slow, but I kind of
Does it?
thought it might because those. I don't get a lot of throw out of those ailerons. So
Yeah.
all right, well, I'll land this thing.
They're
flat.
almost scaled.
Yeah,
too,
they're-
because the Wildcats actually had small ailerons and tons of flap.
Let's see if I
Look
can
at pictures of them when they're landing on
land
carriers.
this
It's
thing
like,
without busting it up here. Don't be me, baby.
she doesn't like slowing down. I remember that from her when she does not like slowing down. What you got? Oh.
Wet grass. Hope we didn't take the cross.
That page. Oh.
All right.
Yep.
Not that much down trim really, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's bouncing like right there. So
Yeah.
well, it survived. So we'll put a half ounce of lead on that other battery. And
Yeah.
it should fly sweet then.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Well,
Maiden in the books.
didn't crash it. That thing
No.
was that thing was tail heavy, boy.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. You ready? Off she goes. Oh yeah, I got the sun out now.
Oh,
Beautiful yellow wings.
put on a show, baby. Look at that.
The hand launch is pretty nice.
It does.
Oh, it rolls so nice
Oh,
now.
wow. Locked in now.
Yeah, the air's dried out a little bit too from earlier, so.
It is so quiet.
Boy, when the sun comes out, that yellow sure looks good.
Yeah, it does. You really outdid yourself with this one, I'm telling you. Look at that thing scooting right along. Look at that. And you're just having fun with it. You can hear that motor.
Well, if it had a rudder, it'd be sweet. I really wouldn't have added too much weight either. I could have put one in there. Would have needed more nose weight though.
Well,
You get the push rod and all that stuff
Yeah.
back there.
she's already hampered by a short nose moment, so.
And actually, the nose is a little longer than scale, but not by a whole
Is
lot.
it?
Yeah, it's a little
Okay.
bit stretched, but not a ton. To where you really don't notice it, but it's definitely there.
Right.
So the Pensacola Museum has this airplane in it.
This airplane's in it.
Yeah, the same numbers and stuff.
Okay.
But the tail's black, which is interesting.
Is it?
Or it's just super dark green, but I can't tell if it's black or just dark green.
Well, that's part of the problem because a lot of the squadrons, there's squadrons I've seen that have black tails, squadrons I've seen that have green tails.
Yeah, they had all different colored tails and
Yes.
noses on them. So,
Yes.
and different stripes and all that stuff.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Look at that yellow just pop.
yeah, that's great.
Well, so you know what? Jim Ryan could design a plane, can't he? Holy cow.
Especially for being just 3 channels, you know.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Oh my God. Locked in.
And it will cruise nicely at lower power settings. I mean,
It's about half power, right? If
yeah,
that.
about half power. But I mean, she's got.
It's got plenty of spunk.
Yeah. Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful reverse. Beautiful.
And it's definitely
got a 4-point out of it somehow.
it's not tail heavy at all. It's
No.
the CG is very safe. It just doesn't require any elevator throw hardly at all.
So what are you running any weight up at the front now? On the battery? No?
The weight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all in the front of the battery.
Okay, okay. What, about a half ounce, an ounce?
3/4 of an ounce.
Okay, so right between. All right.
So when you put a bigger pack in it, it should be.
Yeah, it should
fine.
bounce right out. Put a 1300 in, it'd be good.
Let's do a.
That'll be perfect with Bennett. Maybe a perfect Bennett fuel.
Full throttle capacity.
Whoa. Wow. That's impressive. I honestly can't believe it had that kind of pull up. I mean, that's a vertical pull.
Yeah, it's got some static thrust to it. Yeah, it's definitely cool. Looks awesome in the air. Alright, well let's
Well worth the wait, my friend. Well worth the wait.
come over here and yeah, a little headwind would definitely help with the hand launch, but especially if you're doing it yourself.
Yeah. It's so clean. It's so quiet.
Oh, the wind kind of switching around on us. Got a little breeze on the
Yeah.
us right now. Yeah.
Oh, it did switch around. Well, it's swirling is what it's doing. Remember, she's gonna want to carry. This thing will carry. she handles the landing approach nicely.
Yeah, I couldn't get really.
Get her just a slight nose up AOA, nothing crazy. Perfect.
Pretty tough little prop, because I was worried it was going to break the prop that time, but it
Yep.
it took it just fine. Didn't bend it or anything. Sweet. Well, there you have it, folks. Jim Ryan Wildcat. That thing is a real sweetheart.